This is One on One. There he is, Tony Scott, chief film critic. A little publication called The New York Times. Still the gray lady, last time I checked. Author of Better Living Through Criticism. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Seen a lot of movies. How about you?
I've seen one movie I want to talk about and get it out of the way right away.
Okay.
Where we're taping us at the end of 2019. You'll see in 2020. The Irishman.
I had a feeling. I had a hunch you were gonna go there.
I told you I saw it in the theater.
Yep.
Then I saw it at home on Netflix. My wife, Jen, I know you're watching. You fell asleep. Your wife did too.
Twice.
6 breaks you took. Movies, theater, or at home?
Well, I saw it both ways, and I mean, I like the movies. I mean, I like going to the movies.
Same here.
The reason I'm a film critic is because I love to go to the movies, and I was trying to find a way to do that as much as I can. And I like going into the big dark space with strangers, with friends, and also just the way that you have to pay attention, and the screen is bigger than life, and you're there and you're committed for a few hours. You can't take breaks. You'll miss it. It'll keep going. So it makes it kind of special. It makes it communal. But you know, this movie worked pretty well at home too. I mean, you have to focus. You have to pay attention. It moves slowly. It's long. It's very quiet. It's not a kind of bang bang shoot 'em up, you know, gangster movie.
So when excuse me for interrupting. When my wife said, "Hey, this is too slow," you're thinking, "This is amazing."
I love slow.
That's what I was thinking.
It's like they're driving in the car. They're driving on the turnpike.
Russell Buffalino and Sheeran and Buffalino. Go ahead.
Sheeran and Buffalino. Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro. I mean, who wouldn't want to be in that car?
And the two women in the back seats got to take a smoking break.
Right, they take
That's
a smoking
fascinating.
break. And they have to change a tire, and they stop at a Howard Johnson's, and it's just I could you know, it could have been twice as long.
And have cornflakes. You know, what do you mean, cornflakes in the morning? I'm sorry.
Exactly. And he's making a salad in the back, and then and just also the end of that movie in the kitchen, in the kitchen of the restaurant, and also the end after the thing that's happened.
Are you going to screw it up for people?
No.
Okay.
The thing. I mean, it was a joke. I said in my review. I said like, everybody dies, which is just that's the spoiler of life, not the spoiler of the movie.
Jimmy Hoffa didn't die. Oh yeah, that's right.
They're all, at the end of the movie, you know, the De Niro character has outlived everyone, and he's
Frank Sheeran.
Frank Sheeran, and he's shopping for a coffin, and he says this thing that stuck with me the second time. You know, he's talking about how he wants to be buried, and he says, well, I want to be buried. Don't want to be cremated. I don't want to be buried above the ground. I want to be buried in the crypt, in the coffin, because that way, even though you're still dead, it's not as final.
It's not as final.
And this is a guy who knows more about death than his whole life. He makes a living.
I remember
putting people in the ground, and he says it's not as final.
Am I incorrect in thinking while they're all terrific in their own way? I interviewed Joe Pesci a couple times. Search our website, you'll see them. They're not great interviews, trust me. That I thought he was absolutely spectacular as Russell Buffalino.
I thought it was an extraordinary performance, and I thought because, you know, Joe Pesci, I mean, we haven't seen him in movies for a while. He's been mostly out of movies for almost 20 years. But we think about him in Goodfellas, in My Cousin Vinny, in Home Alone, as this very kind of, you know, antic, mischievous, energetic guy, and very volatile and very violent, you know. Am I funny? Do I amuse you? All of those moments. And in a way, this performance is playing, like he knows that we expect that. He knows that we're waiting for that eruption, and it never comes. And he's so quiet, and he's so calm, and it's so terrifying. Like there's a scene, you know, where they go in to sort of to collect protection money from a business along the route, and he's talking to the guy who runs the business about his son, and he's like, "Your son, you ought to talk to him. He doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't get mad." And it's the most terrifying thing.
The father understands.
The father understands.
He better talk to this kid.
He better talk to them, or the kid is dead. And
I
that's
know.
that.
Oh boy. All right, I'll do other movies. All right. What you got? The movies of the decade, movies of the year. What do you got?
Yeah, I got so many lists. This is the time of year where all they want from us is lists. So let's see if I can even remember my own lists. The movies of the decade. We did a thing.
Want me to prompt you?
Sure. My fellow chief critic Manola Dargis and I made a list of sort of what we thought were the most influential or important, not necessarily our favorites, but of the last decade, the movies that kind of made a difference, you know, that affected either the film industry or audiences.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Sorry for I got 30 seconds on each. Ready? American Sniper.
Well, American Sniper was a very popular movie. It was Clint Eastwood, Bradley Cooper, true story, and it was kind of a movie that shows that, you know, there's this idea of liberal Hollywood, and it showed that there's an audience, and there are filmmakers, notably Clint Eastwood, who don't necessarily fit that pigeonhole, that definition.
Yeah, I saw him at the Republican convention.
Yeah, no,
I digress.
But he's a great filmmaker too.
Wife and I love, and our kid, Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids was a breakout movie. Bridesmaids kind of changed the conversation about women and comedy and how women could be funny and how women could be as vulgar and silly and raunchy.
And the scene in the street?
Yes, the scene
with
in the street.
wedding dress?
Yes.
Spectacular.
Changed American cinema forever.
Real quick, The Avengers?
Well, The Avengers was the thing that, no, I mean, it's not my favorite.
It doesn't mean it's your thing.
No.
Influential.
Right, influential. And it did, I mean, it was the movie that, you know, Disney had taken over Marvel Studios, and it was the thing that really consolidated this Marvel Cinematic Universe where you have these movies coming out, they're all kind of the same, but they make tons of money, they play around the globe. They make Martin Scorsese mad, and some of us critics too. But
I got to do this because I hate that we get time issues. You know,
that's all right.
Scorsese didn't have that. That's why it's 8 hours. No, I'm joking. Your favorites this year?
This year, well, The Irishman was up there. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the Quentin Tarantino.
I enjoyed it.
Really wonderful movie. Really,
I enjoyed it. Brad Pitt,
good movie.
Terrific.
Amazing.
Sorry.
Marriage Story, Noah Baumbach's movie about a couple getting divorced. Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. Really a tough movie. I mean, a movie about people kind of going through the breakup of a marriage that doesn't pull any punches. But it's just it's.
Give me one more.
Great.
One more.
One more. Let's see. I'm always drawing a blank. Okay, here's one that's a little.
A few seconds. Go. Come on.
Honeyland, a documentary about a beekeeper in Macedonia. This is the true New York Times Film Critic art movie. Amazing movie.
What's it
I
again?
promise you. Honeyland. Look for it. Watch it.
That's why he's Tony Scott. He's a chief film critic, New York Times. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
Good talking with you.
Okay. Not you, the movie. We'll see you next time.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the CAUCUS Educational Corporation. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by the New Jersey Economic Development Authority, United Airlines, New Jersey Sharing Network, Delta Dental of New Jersey Resources, Seton Hall University, Adler Aphasia Center, and by St. Joseph's Health. Promotional support provided by bestofnj.com and by Insider NJ. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.